KCAA now presents Crossroads, a program in the public interest bringing you the issues you need to hear about here in our community. Now here's your host, Mark Westwood.
And then Robert Chico, KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, the stations that leave
no listener behind.
That's right. I'm Mark Westwood.
And I'm Roberto Ceja.
And every time you open the microphone on the air, you say the station, call letters, and frequencies.
Okay. Now
that's the rule.
So that's my spiel for next week now.
Welcome to Community Crossroads. Eric Osorio is in the control booth. Hello,
in the
again,
house.
Heyo.
Heyo.
We don't say that in the house. There's somebody else that says that a lot on the radio. We don't do that.
Wait, who?
I'm not going to say that.
Oh, all right, fine.
He says it every other word. If you ever worked on Sunday evenings at 9 o'clock, you'd know what I was talking about.
Okay.
All right. Follow me.
I'll follow you.
Stick with me. We're relaxed today. It's 6 p.m. It's after hours, Community Crossroads. And it's a pleasure to be here with you, Robert.
As always, I'm always happy to be here.
And mentoring a little bit of a young and upcoming radio person who is now almost full-time college professor.
Basically, yeah. I teach. Now I'm teaching at Cal State San Bernardino, my alma mater. And
congratulations.
And Victor Valley College. So
all right.
I'll be a busy bee this semester.
Just I think southwest of Spring Valley Lake there, I think, the college is.
Yeah.
It's kind of a neat little setting out
in
the middle of the desert. It's like a little oasis.
It actually is, and it's relatively small, but it's pretty well kept campus, not gonna lie.
Yeah. So we are here at another Community Crossroads, another crossroads in the road, and it's a pleasure to have another friend on.
Literally on the road. We can see him on the road right now.
We have Marshall Dillon. We have Ray Marshall. We have James Marshall. But tonight we have a new Marshall in town.
I knew you were going to pull that.
I had to do that. Derek Marshall. Hello, welcome.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's good to see you, Mark. It's good to see you, Roberto.
Good to see you, and good talking to you again.
Well, you look good. A big old smile on your face.
I'm feeling good. I just had some Mexican food, and and I'm not in a food coma, so I'm feeling pretty great.
Feeling pretty good.
Pretty snazzy little tie on you've got there, or is that? Yeah, is that the bib? No, that's the tie.
Yeah,
exactly. The reason I said there's a new Marshall in town, we haven't talked a lot, but you were running for Congress the last time, and now you're back.
Now you're running for city council.
I'm running for city council. I'm currently the planning commissioner for the one of the planning commissioners for the city of Victorville, and my city council race is off to the races, and this time I think we're gonna pull it off. I like to tell people I've won the district 2 times already in 2022 and 2024. I just wasn't on that position, right? So I got 4,000 votes. The win number is around 2,000 votes.
Oh,
and,
okay.
I've gotten about double the amount. I mean, obviously I was running for Congress.
Right.
So I think we've got a real shot. But we're not leaving anything to chance. We're knocking doors and chasing endorsements and taking it as seriously as we did with Congress, but now for city council.
Now, one of the
You're always a hard worker.
Always, dude. And I saw recently you got endorsed by Jane Kim, right?
I did, yes. Jane Kim, who I love to pieces. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but vote for Jane Kim.
Hey, that's okay. That you're able to say.
Excuse me I don't know who Jane Kim is. Who's she? Where's she running?
Okay, so Jane Kim is a very interesting character. She was Bernie Sanders' political director, and they're kind of besties. And she is running for insurance commissioner for the state of California. And as of the last time I checked, she was the highest vote recipient in the entire state of California. So she did well over 1 million votes. And she's running for insurance commissioner. What does insurance commissioner do? People may ask. It helps to regulate things like fire insurance. and home
Home
insurance.
insurance. That's
Uh,
another big one, especially a lot of home insurance.
Is it two Democrats in the race?
2 Democrats in the
Yep.
race. Yep.
Who's the other one? Do you remember?
Yes, the other Democrat, his name is Ben Allen, and
Ah,
and he's cool too. Like, look, these are great people. It just so happens that I think that Jane Kim is a little bit greater than
really?
the other
Okay.
great guy.
Yeah, I voted for Ben, actually. That's why I didn't recognize the name. But that's
Mhm.
okay.
That's okay. We're all learning.
We're all learning, and,
Yeah.
and good. I'm glad you like her. And so you're running for city council in Victorville.
Yes.
And what is it, by ward or by district or?
So it's by district. So we used to be at large until 2022, and then in 2022 we districtized the city. So we turned, we
Mhm.
basically moved to districts, and
Mhm.
I live in Victorville District 4, which for people that are like, oh, I've always wanted to know what the lines of Victorville District 4 are.
Mhm.
It's basically around the shopping mall. So if you've ever been to the Victor Valley Mall,
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
uh,
Okay.
the shopping mall, it is. I live right behind the shopping mall. I don't live in the shopping mall. I live behind the shopping mall. But if you around the shopping mall is basically Victorville 4.
Anywhere nearby Victor Valley College?
So
Mm,
not terribly far away. So I,
Not
I think
okay.
we end around Second or Third Street. So it's like we're where the district lines, the western border of the district lines is around kind of like Nisqually near Desert Valley,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. Okay.
hospital.
Okay.
And then and then we're over there. Um,
so many
and
fast food and eateries around there. It's just
Basically.
it's
yeah.
all restaurants.
Some mom and pop shops there. Give them credit. Some mom and
Mhm.
pop shops there.
Yeah. So, Derek, tell me, you're running for city council,
Mhm.
and what on the first day? This is my common question I ask. The first day after election, what are you going to do besides go to Disneyland?
Yeah, so obviously I have to go to Disneyland, right?
Priority
But
number one.
right after, yeah, priority number one, go to Disneyland. Ride the Star Wars ride, and then the very next thing is to get a heat map, to commission a heat map of every single accident, every single traffic thing that has happened, so that
Mhm.
we can really get serious about solving the fact that Victorville has the second most dangerous roads in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
We are having really, I don't want to say, well, yeah, we're having a very bloody summer. That, like, almost
Yeah.
every other day, we're seeing people killed. Uh, Really, really sad instances. We're seeing moms with children that are being
Mm.
killed. We're seeing accidents
Mhm.
that are happening, and it is time for us to really take this seriously. I think that it's been way too long. We see people speeding up and down the roads. We're
Bear
seeing
Valley Road, you're talking about?
the Bear Valley Road. I mean, it's funny. I'm already out canvassing right now, and
Oh.
and I'm talking to our voters, and the voters being my neighbors,
Yeah.
and we're just talking about the issues, and the number one issue that I hear from people is road safety. People are worried.
Mm.
They're
Yeah.
worried about how fast folks are driving up and down North Star and Amethyst and Petaluma and all the different Bear Valley, obviously, and I think it's time for we need to come up with a plan that is
Mhm.
going to that's going to like meaningfully address the issues that we're seeing right now with road
Well,
safety.
back in the day, I'm old enough to do this. I remember my mom and dad driving out there to visit friends and stuff, and we'd go down those roads, and there was nothing on either side of the roads, and there
Yeah.
was just these hills up and down, and and I think people are so used to that, it's ingrained that they can drive super fast. And I worked at Y102 up there for a long time too, and
Mhm.
people will drive 60 miles an hour on a in-town surface street, no problem.
Even
Mhm.
even by neglecting public safety as well, because
Yeah,
because I've driven by that road too. Even especially since now I'm going to Victor Valley, I had to drive up that road sometimes. And yeah, no,
So
I do agree. It's a matter of public safety.
So you're doing a lot of canvassing,
A lot
meeting
of
a lot of
canvassing.
people, shaking
Mhm.
people's hands, and You have a little walk piece you have handing out,
I,
or
I do, yeah, and I look like I could be a detective on some detective show.
well, I know why you're
Um,
wearing the red tie with the white shirt. Otherwise, you'd be looking
Yeah.
like you're an evangelical person knocking on the door. Well, let's put it that way.
yeah, I've got my blue collar. This is the I've got my blue collar shirt on
Yeah, yeah,
tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay.
So, what other priorities aside from traffic control and safety do you see are a need in Victorville?
Yeah, so my second, biggest priority is public safety,
Hmm.
and right now I'm running. So there's two districts that are up. There's Victorville 4 that's up for election, and then Victorville 4.
Hmm.
Sorry, Victorville 2 and Victorville 4, and in Victorville 2 is a guy by the name of Ken Lutz,
Okay.
who you guys should definitely bring on your show. He's also been endorsed by the Teamsters. And he's great. He was a captain of the Adelanto Police Department for 35 years.
Oh.
And he is openly gay, and he knows where all the bodies are buried, right? He really understands the corruption that exists within the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, and so he's a really interesting. We have a lot of really interesting conversations,
Hmm.
and public safety is the second biggest thing that we have people concerned about. Again, like
Yeah.
we're seeing with the accidents throughout the high desert, not just Victorville, by the way, but we're also seeing a lot of shootings. We're seeing
Mm,
shootings at.
yeah. Well, it seems like we might have lost Derek there for a moment.
Oh.
Derek, if you could log back on. But I know what Derek's talking about with the high budgets and the sheriff's department. In the city of Yucaipa, where I'm from, we just, well, I didn't pass it, but I was there to witness it being passed. We just had a budget passed.
Hmm.
And one of the line items included a $2.5 million increase in public safety for law enforcement. And we're a contract city, so we use Victorville. And $2.5 million added. And
Yeah.
not one single police officer was added. And you know why there was a $2.5 million increase?
Hmm.
Because we and all the other 18 contract cities with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department are paying for San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department being sued and losing a court case. And there were two of them, one in Hesperia and one in Rancho Cucamonga. And so that really hurt us and our budget. And they're talking about like closing the Performing Arts Center and things like that. We have Derek back?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
hello, Derek. Welcome back. I'm
Welcome back.
vamping for you here. I was talking about
Yes.
Yucaipa's
Hey.
budget.
Yeah. So thank you guys. So I think we were talking
There
about
you
public
go.
safety. So public
Mm-hmm.
safety is definitely is the second issue, and then the
Victorville's
third
a contract
issue.
city, right? A
Yes.
contract
Yeah.
city
We're
for the sheriff's
contract
Yeah, it
department,
city.
is.
just
Yeah.
like Yucaipa.
Yep.
And I was
Yeah.
talking about we
Exactly.
had a $2.5 million increase without a single officer being added. The reason we did is because the sheriff's department lost a lawsuit and they had to divide all that money up that they had to pay, and they put it on all the cities. So, yeah. And one of the lawsuits was up in Victorville or
Yeah.
Hesperia, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're contract city as well, and and again, I think there's a lot that we can do. I think this is the benefit of having someone who has been a captain for the Adelanto department. The fact that he understands he understands the dynamics of public safety, and I think that there's a lot of good nuanced work that we can do, because I think sometimes there's sort of there's a spectrum, almost like a binary spectrum, where it's like either more policing or no policing. It has been the rhetoric for a long time.
Yeah.
And in getting to work with him, and as we've gotten to know each other, there's a lot that can be done. There's a lot of efficiencies that can be recognized and realized. And I think that one of the ways that we can address public safety is really by working to fund and come up with a bucket to fund our nonprofits.
Right.
One of the nonprofits that I really love is the High Desert Bills. They're great. Their logo looks like the Buffalo Bills, and
Cool.
they basically take youth and they do after school football. And so suddenly it's, it's a lot of folks, a lot of kids, they have after school programs and they're learning different types of values. And we did a 4th of July cookout with the kids, and and these are the types of organizations that I would like to see funding, because public safety is having more fun things to do. Public safety is getting kids off the streets and giving them teams to join, and sports teams, and different types of pools and stuff like that.
So speaking of public safety, we're sticking to the subject here. I'm pretty sure Victorville is pretty used to the flock system, right? Like the flock cameras. Mm-hmm. So how do you guys feel about that then? Since now you and you're now the candidate that's running for city council, he might have an understanding of, in terms of the flock system being used to target certain ethnic groups, especially, for example, in different parts of Redlands or Rancho. If you notice that some of the flock cameras are actually facing Lowe's, Home Depot, and I just recently found out that in Rancho, the IHP building actually has a ton of flock cameras surrounding the building.
For our listeners, just explain what a flock camera is.
So a flock camera, it's basically like a normal camera, but it's being used by AI. And what they do is they track by license plate, by facial recognition, etc. So, for example, if there's a flock camera at a stoplight, and let's say you see it, that flock system will gather data, and that data can be sent out to, let's say, for like the police department, for example, and they can utilize that data to be like, this person was here at X time, X date, etc. And it'll track your movements.
So are these the cameras with the little blue flashing lights on them?
I think so, pretty much. They come in different shapes and sizes, but there's an issue in terms of privacy because it's contracted. It's not by the city.
That is a problem.
And so that's
data is being scanned and shared by these companies, and that's the problem with the flock system.
And also, a lot of investigations have been going on for corruption and mishandling of the flock system. Some police departments have been used to, I don't know, stalk their exes. I don't know if you heard that one. I just recently found out a couple days ago. My wife and I were talking about that some police officers were using the flock system to stalk their ex-girlfriends.
Oh, that's a no-no.
And that's a huge no-no.
Yeah.
And so, like places like Yucaipa or like Victorville, there's a lot of open area that you can get away from the flock system, but they've been using it.
Now, I know police officers have gotten in trouble for using the information system and accessing people's information when they weren't on a case or they weren't,
Right.
And so that's a problem. Now this is a whole nother problem. Now the information system within a public safety department is, monitored by the public safety department. Flock cameras aren't monitored.
Right. No, and they're not. That's the thing. And another thing too is that not only they're not monitored, it's just, like I said, it's an invasion of privacy, and it's just all over.
Well, I see we have Derek back. Hello, Derek.
Hey, Derek.
We're losing Derek a little bit here and there. Modern technology is not so great.
Yeah, no, I apologize.
You're good.
My take on flock. So, there's a quote by Benjamin Franklin, and his quote is basically, those that would give up liberty for temporary security deserve neither liberty nor security. And
Right.
I think that we're entering this phase in our country where we're losing our privacy before our very eyes, and I think that flock feels like the reaction against flock, in addition to the reaction that we're seeing towards other hot button issues right now, I think that we're starting to come to a moment where people are really starting to say, you know what, this is the final straw. And I think that, where I lean with public safety comes from my experience in looking at other models. So, a lot of people that know me, they know that I speak 5 languages, and they know that I've traveled pretty extensively, and I've seen different societies with different models. And
let's not go over past. Let's not that go over the bridge
Yeah.
here. You speak 5 languages.
Yeah,
and you're
I was
ready.
about to bring that up too. What languages do you speak now?
So I'll let you test me on, German and Spanish. So those are my, those are the
Those are
two.
3.
And then I do I speak Chinese.
Oh,
Some
Mandarin?
Chinese. It used to be better.
Mandarin?
Mandarin. Yep.
okay.
Yep. And then some French as well. And actually, there's a couple of other languages, but I've always had an interest, for different languages, and I've always been very interested to see how do other people do things, because how can we learn from other societies? How can we
Right.
learn from other models? And I think when it comes to public safety, and this is where I lean, it's like if we build ourselves a society where people are taken care of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they work one job, they're able to take vacation, they feel rested, they're able to pay their bills. We're not going to have the security issues, right? You're not going to have endless robberies and everything. And so I think sometimes there's a kind of a push and pull between we need to police everything versus we can create a society where people have more money in their pocket and they have some skin in the game, so therefore they become productive members of society. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Derek, one of the things that you can do on the local level, because running for Congress is a federal office, that's a big
federal.
deal.
Yeah.
But now you're down in the local level, and you're more focused in. It's like the camera has panned in, focused.
Yeah.
And one of the things that
Yeah.
the biggest thing you can do is educate people.
Yeah.
Because like when I just asked about flock cameras, I knew what they were. I had an opinion about them, but I asked that redundantly. But part of it is to educate people. So people who don't know what flock cameras are or what they're about know, okay, suddenly they learned a little bit. Now they may be for them or against them. But the fact of the matter is, on a council level, one of the things you have to do in order to create change is to educate.
Yeah, and then one thing I wanted to add as well is that educate as well as,
Inform.
Inform and do it in moderation, because there's nothing good or bad about flock cameras. I'm not to say anything good about it. Yes, it can track data, it can track movement a lot more efficiently than conventional cameras, and we know that. And AI has been adapting ever since. But the thing that my concern is that, and this is where I brought it up, was that putting flock cameras in, like, for example, in like insurance buildings or, Home Depots or, that's what I'm trying to say. And so again, picking back off of Mark, we have to educate. We have to inform people that this is going on, completely unbiased. This is what we're dealing with. We need to do something
Give
about
them
it.
a buy-in. Give them a buy-in.
Exactly.
On a council level, you can do that.
Yeah.
You see people more closely. Pete Aguilar is my friend. I've known him for years. When we see each other on the street, it's a hug. We'll pose together, picture, all that stuff. But I never see him. But
Right.
people are going to see you.
They're seeing you every day. That's the thing. They see you at the supermarket.
Up close and personal.
Exactly. They might see you at next door. Be like, hey, that's Derek Marshall, the city council member right there. I get to talk to him personally.
And you see him at the dog park, and you see him everywhere. Hey, Derek, can you stick around for a minute, hopefully? And we've got to take a little break for a second.
Yes.
Is that okay?
All right.
All right. So
KCAA 1050.
the station that leaves no listener behind.
Don't forget 106.5.
106.5, 1050 AM.
We'll be back in a minute.
We'll be back.
This is KCAA.
For over 75 years, the Marine Toys for Tots program has provided toys and emotional support to economically disadvantaged children, primarily during the holidays. But needs are not just seasonal, and now, neither is Toys for Tots. They've expanded their outreach to support families in need all year long, with their new programs, including the Foster Care Initiative, the Native American Program, and the Youth Ambassador Program. To learn how you can help, visit toysfortots.org.
One of the best ways to build a healthier local economy is by shopping locally. Teamster Advantage is a shop local program started by Teamster Local 1932 that has brought together hundreds of locally owned businesses to provide discounts for residents who make shopping locally their priority. Everything from restaurants like Corky's to fun times at SB Raceway and much, much more. If you're not currently a Teamster and you want access to these local business discounts, contact Jennifer at 909-889-8377, extension 224. Give her a call. That number again is 909-889-8377, extension 224.
The election is March 5th. Your ballots are in the mail. Mail them in today. Now there's something to vote for because there's a new marshal in town. Vote Derek Marshall for 23rd Congress by March 5th.
Y'all know we need to change Congress. The current Congress does nothing but fight with each other. They've forgotten why we sent them there, to work. Let's marshal and fix our problems at the border. A comprehensive plan, not political rhetoric and infighting.
Yes, there's a new marshal in town.
The rent is too darn high. Let's marshal in affordable housing and real affordable universal health care. Better union jobs.
The current Congress member put his party first and not people. But there's a new marshal in town.
Our incumbent party politician voted no on the recently passed bipartisan infrastructure bill. He voted no to $3 billion in new funds for our district and no to 35,000 new jobs right here at home. He said, we need a secure border, but now he's rolled it back to play politics. We need to marshal real solutions.
Vote for Derek Marshall by March 5th because we've got to hire a new marshal, Derek Marshall. You can go to DerekMarshallCA.com, paid for by Derek Marshall for Congress.
My name is Derek Marshall, and I approve this message.
Hello, Derek. Marshall's back
Welcome.
now.
The new marshal's in town.
That's right. There's a new marshal on Bear Valley Road. And running up and down all those roads there. Hello, welcome back, Marshall.
Welcome back.
Marshall Derek.
All right, thanks, guys.
We had to have some fun with that. You knew that was coming probably. That's all right. You should feel lucky because with Pete Aguilar, I put him on. He was on a video at the Chamber of Commerce in Redlands when he was a city councilman, and their version of Dancing with the Stars, and he was dancing.
I gotta look that up now.
That's Black Mirror material, but we did it live on the air right here at KCAA. So welcome back, Derek. It's a pleasure and honor. And
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for putting up with us. There's so much to talk about on the local level. Like I said, the camera's panned in now.
Oh,
you're much closer to your constituents, and that's a good thing. You're more than qualified. You were also a field director, I believe, for Bernie Marshall, for Bernie Sanders. Bernie Marshall, I almost said
Bernie Marshall.
Bernie Marshall. Bernie Sanders.
Technically, he's the marshal for Bernie Sanders. So
that's right.
There you go.
Yes.
And lots of experience. Speaks 5 languages. Do you have a website?
I do. Yeah, it's DerekForVictorville.com.
And are there any events going on?
Number 4 or regular 4?
It is FOR.
Okay. And then any events that you want to do a shout out?
I'm trying to think right now if there's any. Nothing as of right now. I mean, we're doing a lot of canvassing. If people want to get in touch, they can follow me on social media, which is Derek Marshall CA, and they can feel free to text me. I always say that the best way to get in touch with me is just the way that you got in touch with me, Roberto. Is just send me an Instagram message and it gets to me.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised because I remember send it to you and you were very responsive. So thank you for responding quickly.
Well, New York has a new mayor.
Yes,
has a new mayor.
Yes,
Robert
that is
Mondani,
true.
And he's doing a lot of change on the local level. He's panned in too. He's a New York mayor.
Zoran Mamdani.
I'm sorry, Zoran Mamdani.
You said my name.
Oh, did I? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you did.
I did. Anyway, I'm getting old.
No, it's okay.
Anyway,
it's okay.
that's right. And you could do a lot of change. So, are you closer to Zoran Mamdani or are you closer to, I don't know, another more the middle of the road establishment Democrat?
I am a desert Democrat. I'm high desert. And I think that if you're voting in the high desert, you know exactly what that means.
I like that a lot. I like that. That's just straight up. I'm a desert Democrat. That's beautiful.
I'm a desert Democrat.
And so do you have some people up there helping you out and supporting you?
Yes, yeah, no, it's been really, really great. We've had a big outpouring. One of the Teamsters political directors is one of my constituents and one of my neighbors, and love him to
Are you
pieces.
talking about
Robert
Robert?
Gonzalez. Yes, I
There we
am.
go.
We know Robert.
Yeah.
I love Robert Gonzalez. He's an amazing human, so he's great. I received the endorsement of the Inland Empire Labor Council. So I'm excited.
Congratulations.
I'm
Congrats.
very thank you for that. I have gotten the endorsement of LIUNA and IBW, so there's a lot of there's a lot of great union support. But also just, the great thing about running for local office is it's a nonpartisan position.
Right.
And, I'm getting support from, from Republicans as well as Democrats and independents. And, at the end of the day, filling a pothole isn't a Republican or a Democrat thing. It's a filling a pothole thing.
That's a hey, my street is kind of broken. Can you fix that? Like
yes,
that's
exactly.
it's simple, yeah.
Potholes are nonpartisan.
And that's what I've been telling people.
Yeah.
Potholes are nonpartisan.
That's right. And that's not the only thing city council people do. There's a lot to do and reach out, and you are a bridge builder.
So one thing I wanted to ask you, Derek, was that because Mark told me that you ran for Congress, and now that you're running for city council, what are some things that you learned as you started running for city council? What are some things that you learned and you can kind of pass this on to others?
Yeah, so basically,
by the way, Robert asks real difficult questions, but go ahead.
No, this is great. So after my city council run, I was nominated to the planning commission, and my nomination was seconded by Republican mayor at the time, Deborah Jones. And
Okay.
so there was this bipartisan effort to name me to the planning commission, and I got 4 of 5. So there's 4, so the even though they're nonpartisan positions, 4 of the city councilors in Victorville Republican. You had 1 Democrat, Leslie Irving, and I got 4. So I got 1 Democrat, and I had 3 Republicans that nominated me, and I said, "Wow, this is great." So clearly I was doing something right, and folks felt like, okay, this guy's going to be good at at this job, and over the last 20 months of being planning commissioner for the city, it's been a really interesting pivot to learn how city government works. And I've done a number of trainings, and I've gone to conferences, and have built relationships with city staff, and I can really synthesize what I've learned. One of the big lessons I've learned is that politics is campaigning and governing is relationships, and that is the biggest thing that I've learned over the last, basically
that's a cool
since
thing
November
to say.
24th.
Say that again.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Politics is about campaigning. Governing is about what?
Relationships.
Relationships. Yeah.
That's good. That's a good way of putting it.
And and I'm really, and by the way, I think that's really important. And those are the types of leaders that we need.
And
the types of leaders that we need, I can almost finish that, are people who build relationships.
Yeah, are people that build, yes, exactly. There we go. It's the people that build relationships, and the people that are not afraid to address the hot button issues, right? Data centers, flock cameras, ICE,
warehouses.
Warehouses, yeah. That's
warehouses.
I remember that being a big issue.
Yes. So these are, these are huge issues, and we need to, we need to have the conversation. We need politicians that are willing to have the conversation, even if that conversation begins with, "I don't have the answer, but as your representative, I want to facilitate the conversation."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to come to the table. Everybody has a buy-in. Everybody's at the table. Buy-in's probably not, they get some kind of ownership in their city, their pride in their city, and it doesn't matter. Too long, and I'm going to preach a little bit to everybody out in listener land here. We are speaking right now with Derek Marshall, by the way, who is a city council candidate for the city of Victorville. Election's coming up in about 82 days or 81 days or something like that.
About so, yeah.
And, we are been too much of the divided United States or the divided states. We need to be the United States, and that begins at home. We've had some people, some politicians that work hard, it seems like, dividing our families and our communities and our friends on issues when we have so much more to come together with.
We have so much in common. And that's the one thing I feel like a lot of people forget. Like, it's not just red or blue or black and white. There's some gray area, and then I feel like that's just one thing we need to understand, that we're all alike in some way.
A plan to bring people together too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just as simple as having a barbecue, right? He's nodding his head, but we're on radio. He's saying yes.
Absolutely.
I think you're delayed by a couple seconds. I kept counting in my head. I'm like, I think you're off by like 3 seconds.
Maybe not.
But
maybe.
Yeah.
I was hearing the I thought you were preaching at us, so I was waiting.
Oh,
for
okay.
Mark gets on tangents,
Yeah, Mark and I do this often.
Soapbox. But do you disagree with anything I just said?
No, I completely, I wholeheartedly agree. Like we need to come back to the table. We have too many big issues that we are facing collectively as a society. Issues like AI, issues like environment, issues like water and resources. We have so many issues that we have to come together on. And I think that, if we remain divided, that is when we put ourselves at risk, and for other societies to have our lunch.
And nothing gets done, honestly.
And nothing gets done. So now, and I have evolved over time, right? Like, I think part of the reason that I'm a member of Working Families Party is because I'm done with a lot of the partisanship. Like, I want relationships with people who are tag themselves as Republicans or like all the different tags. And I think that it's a moment that we need to really rise above these specific identities so that we can start talking about the issues.
Yeah, you can kind of think about it in terms of like, even in your own workplace, like working within different departments, you can't just do the whole thing by yourself. You have to have a team behind you. And that means people of different backgrounds, different ideologies, whatever. That what makes that establishment unique. You can apply it anywhere. Even like for me, for example, in the research area, I collaborate within different universities, to be honest. Some of them may be from universities in Mexico, or some can be here in the United States. But we come in with fresh new ideas. We have different opinions. We have different ideologies, but we come together to make a beautiful document.
On the local level, don't you agree, Derek? They shouldn't be able to tell whether you're a member of the Working Party or the Democrat or Republican or whatever. They should say, okay, Derek has the same idea that, like in Yucaipa, I have shared this opinion with Republicans too, that the line item on our budget was appalling for $908,000 for a city manager's job. I mean, that's what it was in Yucaipa.
That's insane.
It's insane. Well, part of it was $300,000 to get rid of the old city manager. But, it's just crazy. And then they're talking about cutting community services. Community services is the things that very much, that's why you're there.
Even in my city in Redlands, the Redlands School Board, because I'm more focused on education. The outings, for example, many of the family members can agree that outing your own kid is not something that you should be doing in public. Or even, for example, cutting essential staff like teachers, paraprofessionals, etc. That's something that is given to kids, because a lot of these kids don't have the essential resources at home, and a lot of families at home struggle. And so that's why these establishments are there for a reason.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I completely agree. I think that having these, there's a reason that municipal office is nonpartisan, and right. I think that that it's really important that we underscore that.
Yeah, and one of the important things too is that even with these offices, there are some people that, they have a really creative way of talking. Especially, I'm trying to talk in terms of like, their ideas are a little bit way too not something that nobody would ever say out loud. and people will feed off of that energy, be like, oh, they're coming after my kid because of they're teaching this about a certain subject, for example. And so you, as a potential city council member, you have to face people like that. So how do you steer away conversations like that? Do you steer it away? Do you kind of give them air, or what do you plan on doing? I know this is kind of like random.
Yeah, no, that's a really it's a good point. It's a fair question. Truth be told, I need to think about it, and I need to think about how I'm going
That's a fair
to,
answer.
how I'm going to,
No, that's fine.
how I'm going to have these conversations. I think that a lot of times, like you find out in the moment how you're gonna respond. And it's funny because I made a post recently about flock cameras that went viral, and there's 1,000 likes and there's lots of comments, and it's really interesting because there's suddenly there's a lot of people with really, really strong opinions both ways. And honestly, I think that that's good, because I want to have all of the input. I want to have all the feedback. I want to hear everyone's ideas. And I think that ultimately that's what a representative republic, what a representative democracy is about, is surfacing people's ideas in the free marketplace of ideas. Think, deliberate about what different people bring up, and look, maybe there's something, this person here said something interesting, something I had never thought of before. This is a new perspective, and I'm going to respond. I'm going to respond accordingly. And I think that that's why we have public comments section for city council, for school boards, and what I would encourage is that people, they start to recognize their own power, that they understand and that they learn who are their local municipal school board members, city council members, because at the end of the day, you're paying their bill. It's your taxes that are paying for the city councilors, and ultimately, I think that the power that municipal office holders have over our day-to-day lives is significantly more, not all the times, but most of the time, significantly more than state and federal.
Like we can
holders.
talk about issues here, like for like what we talked about earlier, like flock cameras, for example, warehouses, data centers, etc. But it's having that civil discussion, that civil discourse of like, hey, I'm concerned about this. I'm gonna go to you because you're someone that has some type of power in the city to be able to enact, maybe ban warehouses or ban data centers or restrict or prohibit. You have that authority to do so. And a lot of people realize that at the local level as much as national, we often ignore local. We often ignore city council, school board, but those are tangible stuff that you have the power to do so.
So we're here talking with Derek Marshall, who's running for city council. District, did you say 4?
District 4, yep, Victorville
District 4 in Victorville, over by the Victorville shopping mall, right off there off of Bear Valley and the 10 freeway. How's the weather up there?
It is, it's amazing. It's been triple-digit heat, but today we had it almost feels like winter. It's 84 degrees.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I say you look pretty amazingly cool. Maybe you have the air conditioner going in the car.
Especially you wearing a tie and a button up. That's crazy. That you're out there right now in that heat.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And
that
again,
is true.
Your website. If people want to get a hold of you, I guess the best way is through your website.
Social media. So I would say Derek
media?
Marshall CA. Hit me up on Instagram. That's the best way.
That was the quickest response I've ever gotten. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Just don't hit me up if you're a jerk. If you're a jerk, don't hit me up. But otherwise, or even if you're a jerk with some good ideas, I'll accept that. But
don't troll Derek. Is what we're saying. Don't
troll him just because
he's too busy. He's got other fishes to fry, and nobody needs that anymore. No. People that do that, it's not even cute. Yeah. It's just distraction. Well, if you want to talk about a real issue, talk about a real issue. Like, I think there should be more palm trees planted on Hesperia Road or something like that. Something interesting. We need more dog parks or
more greener ways to make housing affordable, or give Victorville people a chance to save money on their electricity bill.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of crucial issues that are on the local level.
Yeah.
That how many city council members do you have? 7?
There's 5 in the
There's
city of
only
Victorville.
5.
Yeah.
How big is Victorville?
Yeah.
What's the population?
Victorville is almost 100. It's almost 150,000 people, believe it or not.
150. Yeah.
And
That's bigger than that's bigger than Redlands, because Redlands is about 40,000.
Yeah, a little smaller than Fontana, but still pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you include, you can't include Hesperia in there, but they're like sister cities up there.
Practically.
And we say up there because we're down here.
We're down here. You're up there.
Up the hill. But
and we're at a crossroads. Victorville, a city at the crossroads.
We are. That's funny. Yeah,
well, he's going to be working in Victorville now. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
He got a.
I did, and Roberto, you and I are going to have to meet up for coffee, because I would love to pick your brain and hear what you're teaching at Victor Valley College. Like I'm just very curious to hear.
I'm just letting you know, Monday, Wednesdays, I'm up there. That's that. And
Okay,
my
cool.
office hours, I'm still thinking about it. And my wife said, just please don't be up there that late.
Well, he has a master's degree in mathematics, so does that give you a clue? he's teaching math.
Oh,
up there.
okay. He's like, I have a master's degree in mathematics. I'm teaching political science.
Okay, I mean, like that. Thank you for giving me that credit. I mean, like I personally, like I'm very open about my political ideologies and how I feel, but I make sure that my classrooms are always a safe space. That's like my number one priority.
By the way, things happen on the local level. You know how I met Robert? I met Robert at a San Marino City Council meeting.
Oh,
where I was speaking against them trying to eliminate the mayor's position and Mayor Tran.
We had some very, very nice, my professor would like to say, a very nice email, a very nicely worded email. So we had a very nicely worded comments, and yeah.
And so there was some little synergy that says, you know what, you need to be on the radio. You're a young, progressive-minded man.
Yeah.
And so I brought him on, and here he is. And now he works here.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
I work here on the weekends. Shout out for those that don't know.
Yeah, he has so many jobs I can't even keep track anymore.
He
has to have a job tracker where he's supposed to be. He also works in a parachute, indoor parachute high fly thing.
If for those that know, everybody hates Chris. My wife can now be the Rochelle in that. Be like, my man has 4 jobs.
And it's a full-time job running for city council.
Yeah, it is.
And you're coming down to, I think, 80 or something days till November 2nd, right?
I think it was November 4th.
I think
November 4th?
80. I think it's 80. It's either 83 or 82. I just wrote it on my whiteboard this morning.
And how many weekends? You have to count the weekends, because those are the really important ones where you can be out there. And it's not that many weekends. It's maybe 8 weekends between now and Election Day. Well, let's see here.
So, it's like 10, 11, something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna come up fast.
November 3rd, yeah.
Is Chris Ochoa helping you out up there?
Oh yeah, Chris was out knocking doors today, and and he there's a good shot. I mean, if there's a couple of races that are happening in Hesperia, he very well might be the mayor of Hesperia this year. Council member Chris Ochoa.
Hey, let's go.
Good friend of mine.
Let's go.
I get confused. Hesperia, Victorville. I'm one of those flatlanders down the hill. So, but I apologize for that.
We always joke. We say that we're going to build the Peace and Friendship Bridge right over Bear Valley Road, off the 15 exit connecting the Hesperia Victorville Friendship Bridge.
There you go.
For all the pedestrian traffic we have on Bear Valley.
Dominate the desert.
Dominate. Speaking of bridges, wasn't I may be mistaken, either it was Victorville or Apple Valley was considering doing a transit train connecting from Las Vegas to LA, and they were part of like some sort of contract. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Are you talking about the bullet train from Vegas to LA, like the Bright Line West? Yeah. So everything that I understand, I believe it is still in production. I know that there was I think that there was like that Bright Line East or whatever they call the Miami, like the Bright Line in Florida. I know that they were having some financial issues. So it's something I have to dig into. I got some insider tea on Bright Line west, and so I'm curious to find out a little bit more.
Lots of topics
and lots of topics, yeah.
Lots of topics. And Derek, once again, let's give your website out. Derek Marshall.
Yep. So Derek.
Don't tell me.
Okay, we lost you for a second.
No, there we go.
Say the website again because we lost you. Oh, we don't have sound, unfortunately.
Oh, and right as we're getting close to the hour.
Yeah, Derek, can you hear us now? Oh no. Well, Derek Marshall is running for city council up in Victorville, and we're certainly glad and proud to have him. I've interviewed him multiple times. We have about 3 more minutes if he can get back on with us.
I can speak for Derek. So Derek, his social media on Instagram is Derek Marshall CA. That's his Instagram, and his website is derekforvictorville.com. Not the number 4 FOR. And you can follow his social media. He posts a lot of local issues in Victorville.
And Robert, what I'd normally do with a political candidate that's on the ballot, the upcoming ballot, is I say at the end of my program, I say, okay, Derek, this is your last 2 minutes of the program. Tell us and talk to us like a stump speech why you should be elected to the Victorville City Council. And of course, we dropped him. We don't have him, so he can't do that. But I can vouch for him.
Go for it.
And he has a very good heart.
Yeah.
Number one, he is somebody that cares about people. He cares about the community he's involved with. He wants to be involved. He wants to help out. He's put his life into this, whether it's campaigning for other candidates, whether it's campaigning for other offices. Now he's focused. He's panned in. He's focused in on Victorville. The people of Victorville are very lucky. He's been endorsed by Teamsters.
Yep.
He's been endorsed by the Central Labor Council.
Yep.
COPE endorsed. I think some other unions endorsed. He is the people's candidate, and he will work for the people of the city of Victorville. So, all do is endorse him because he's my friend. But, vote for Victorville. Vote for the new marshal in town,
Derek Marshall. Yeah. And I'll be doing shout outs in my classroom. So you'll probably hear me say, vote for Derek Marshall, Area 4.
So if you're hearing this, Derek, thank you very much.
Thank you, Derek.
And that's another edition of Community Crossroads. I'm Mark Westwood.
And I'm Roberto Ceja.
On KCAA.
106.5, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Yay, stations. We have 2. All right.
Stations. Okay.
Over and out.
All right.